So for Christmas Day, the gift you get is hearing me talk about a comic, specifically one of the current volumes of Iron Man. And it's in this volume that Tony Stark finds himself up against a cosmic threat. With the stakes so high, he does the probably really stupid thing and gathers up a group of heroes, most of whom you wouldn't have heard of. And if you have, you wouldn't be very familiar with them. And he takes these heroes, launches off into space, where very soon he becomes stranded on another planet. Now, while he's there, he's visited by this entity called the Living Tribunal, which is this giant humanoid thing with 3 heads. And it's one of those entities in Marvel that is thought sometimes to represent God. The Living Tribunal says this to Tony: "The universe is on the verge of catastrophic imbalance. Only you can restore this balance." And then the tribunal tells Stark the location where he needs to go, the very place where Tony and his fellow friends were trying to get to in the first place. Now, Tony takes this as a sign that his friends aren't up to the challenge, that only he can do the work that's required to save the universe. The response the Living Tribunal gives him is this: "You gravely misunderstand my words, but you still must leave now." Now, the sad thing is that most of us at one point in our lives or another have been in Tony's shoes. We've gravely misunderstood what it is that God is trying to say to us. And in many ways, we've done that with our celebration of the Nativity, our celebration of the birth of God, the incarnation of God, the literal made in flesh into this world. At best, we turn this day into a birthday celebration of the little baby Jesus. At worst, we let the rest of the world steal this feast day for us and turn it into a commercial holiday, something that's entirely different from what Christmas really is, and has very little to do with God. For this reason, our gospel today is so important, because it tells us what this day is truly about. John says it in these words: "The Word became flesh and lived among us." See, Jesus is much more than just a baby boy. He's much more than a human born into this world. Jesus is much more than just the Messiah, even. And he's even much more than just the Son of God. Jesus is the Word of God, which, as John tells us, is God himself. God became incarnate. Again, literally being made flesh. God became flesh, became one of us. God even died as one of us in order to save all of us. Christmas isn't about gifts. It isn't even about throwing a birthday party for the baby Jesus. The incarnation, is what the Nativity is really about. It's about the depths of God's love for us, that he was willing to come into this world, the mud, the filth, hunger, the thirst, the disease, famine, in order to be with us. And yet, even in Jesus' time, as John tells us, we did not know him. We yelled at him. We spat on him. We put him to death. All because we couldn't keep our eyes and ears open. All because we wouldn't take the time to prepare. It's time for us to stop bravely misunderstanding God and listen. The message we receive of love in the incarnation of God into this world doesn't just cut at the heart of the season of the Nativity. It covers all, it encompasses all of our faith. If we can take a moment to see what Jesus did for us, if we can try to show and share that love with all that we meet, then maybe, just maybe, we can begin to understand what it is that God has truly done for us. And hopefully, we can start to listen and help others listen with us as well.